Hello and welcome to video number 6. This is Smart OTO Real Example and in relation to products. So now that we've covered how to create a funnel and what it looks like to map it out, let's talk about some real life examples. Now, because products and services can drastically be different, what we want to do is we want to ensure that you understand how to implement this inside of your business. So in this particular video, we're going to talk about how to create smart one-time offers for products. So if you have a service, you don't have a product, but if you have a mixture of products and services, I would recommend that you watch this one and the next. But if you do not have products and you're just purely 100% a service-based business, then I would rather you skip this video and go to the next. All right. But you might learn a few things by watching this video before watching the next. So let's head over to the flowchart system again and let's find a product and break it down in relation to products. So before we map out a product funnel, what I want to say is that you do not really need to have products throughout your funnel, meaning you could have a mixture of different varieties of products, of information products to better educate people about your product and more. So if you're selling, let's say, for example, even an e-commerce physical product, you could use a training course or an ebook or a report as a lead magnet or even a front-end offer to get people more educated about the product that you are selling. So just keep that in mind, that every single thing in your product funnel does not need to be a product. So if you're doing an e-commerce product, the front-end offer, the one-time offer, and all that does not have to be an e-commerce product. It can be, or you could do the lead magnet as a video training, but you have to really think about how much does somebody need to be educated about my product before they decide to actually buy my product. So you really need to figure out, okay, is that going to be in the lead magnet phase, or is that going to be in the actual front end offer? So what I'm saying is, don't feel like you have to stick with one specific type of one-time offer over and over again throughout your whole funnel. So for example, we'll talk about service-based businesses in the future, but you can actually mix and match between a product and a service solely based upon what you think will help somebody become more educated about your product. In addition to that, how will that bring them closer to actually wanting to buy the biggest, baddest one-time offer? All right. So let's do a product here, and let's just go ahead and do that. Let's do an e-commerce product. Let's say that we are selling scuba gear, and the OTO, let's do an OTO 3 for the sake of simplicity. So scuba gear is going to be basically everything, like all in one package kind of thing. All in one package. So this is kind of the everything, you get everything in the scuba gear package to help you stay below surface for a longer period of time. So if that's the unique selling proposition of your product, then maybe down the line here, you could have a lead magnet that talks about something like how to stay below water for a longer amount of time. So we haven't really figured out, is that going to be our lead magnet? Is that going to be our front end offer or anything like that? What I want you to do is just splat that on the paper. So we've got OTO 3, and I would ask you, in addition to that, if we move one step backward or even two steps backwards, what do we think would be there? So since the scuba gear is an all-in-one package, maybe we focus on the scuba mask. So if somebody buys a scuba mask, you could say, hey, you buy the scuba mask, but I'm going to offer you the scuba gear for like half off or something. So let's go here And for simplicity, let's do OTO2 since it's a product. So we'll do this as OTO1 and then maybe a front end offer. So this could be a lead magnet, it could be a front end offer. But let's say, for example, we want to make a course to show people how to stay below water for a longer amount of time, or whatever unique selling proposition that fulfills this or essentially solves somebody's problem, right? So they go from here, they're looking to stay below water for a longer amount of time, and then maybe you present them after that. You say, okay, I've trained you, I've educated you, and then here's a scuba mask that will help you do just that. And then after they buy that, you could say, you know, we normally sell the scuba gear all in one package for, you know, such and such price, but you're going to get 50% off if you buy it right now, kind of thing. So they're already in the frame of mind, thanks to this part here, that they are well educated. They bought the course so that they're well educated. And because you educated them, you have essentially gained their trust. And because they trust you, they're more likely to buy your funnel. So that's something that you could do for an e-commerce type product. Now, let's say it's a information product. So let's say that we won't do a service, and we can do a service in the next video. But let's say, for example, that this is a product. So maybe we could do scuba diving training, advanced training, and then we could do scuba diving. So OTO2 is the biggest, baddest bonus that we can offer, and that's the advanced training. So maybe OTO1 could be scuba diving, not basic training, but maybe intermediate training. And then maybe at that point, the front end offer could be scuba diving basic training. Could be the front end offer. So think about it for a second. I move backwards, and this is more advanced, sort of less advanced, and a lot more less advanced. So now when we move back from here forward, it's going to be somebody comes in, they're interested in learning basic training, and they're still new. So maybe you provide them with intermediate training. You say, okay, we normally offer this at $200, but today you'll get access to it for $100. So after you complete your basic training, you'll have access to this immediately afterwards, and then so on and so forth. So that's what I would do for a product, but you kind of get the gist here. This is fairly simple as long as you start with this as the top level and then move down. So in this case, I kind of use the skill level from top, middle, bottom. So that when we go from here to here, it's a progression upwards, right? So you could use that method. You could use the method I taught you before. You could use any method, but hopefully that gives you a better idea on how to essentially create your OTO funnel. Welcome to video number 5. We're going to talk about how to create a funnel with smart one-time offers. So when it comes to creating a funnel with smart one-time offers, it's super easy to do as long as you've gone through videos 1 through 4. If you've skipped around, it's not really going to make sense. So if you've done that, make sure that you go in order so that we can break things down. So in this video, we're going to be mapping out a generic funnel with smart one-time offers by using a flowchart visual map so that you can see how all the pieces of the puzzle fit together. So let's do that now. Okay, so now that you understand kind of a breakdown of the smart OTO and the smart funnel essentially, let's actually map it out. So as you can see here, if we start from the back and move back, so let's say for example, in that example we have OTO4. So OTO4 was one-on-one consulting. So one-on-one consulting. Now obviously if you have a specific product, then we'll actually give you an actual real life example later down the road. But for now, this is a very general kind of view. So one-on-one consultant, and then what you do, like I said earlier, is you move back. So you copy that, and essentially the OTO3 is going to be a portion of the one-on-one consulting. So like I said, group consulting. What is the next best thing, right? So if somebody can't afford one-on-one consulting, group consulting is the next best thing. So then we move back again. So OTO2. And if somebody cannot afford group consulting, perhaps something, a portion of that. So we take a piece, we move back. We take a piece, we move back. Well, in that case, you can have this perhaps as the downsell. So that could be OTO4D as in downsell. And then this could actually be OTO3. So as you can see here, one thing is when I discussed the funnel earlier, as you begin to map things out, you realize that certain things should actually be a downsell or an upsell or in different places. And that's why mapping out is so crucial. So OTO3 could be something like audio recordings, and that could be that. We could have something else. It doesn't have to be that. So it could be audio recordings. So that way, if somebody buys the audio recordings, they're thinking, okay, this is all I can afford. I'm going to stop here. But then you got your premium buyers that will be like, okay, you know what? I want to get one-on-one consulting, right? And then you might have people who say, oh, I can't afford that. And then they're offered this and they're thinking, well, I can't afford one-on-one consulting, but I can't afford group consulting, right? So we got audio recordings, and then maybe over here we have an ebook based on that audio recordings, but not as much. So they're getting double over here, obviously, right? So the next thing we have is OTO2. So we're moving backwards here. So I like to use arrows for progression, but obviously later on we're going to have to switch the arrows because we're going to move the other direction, right? So this is just to help me build it out initially. So OTO1, this could be a piece of that. So maybe this could be secret articles or something like that. So it's a piece of that, and then of course we have the front end offer. So the front end offer could be, so we'll do FE for front end offer, and that could be a video course. So after you have finished this, you want to switch the arrows back to the other way. So we would switch the arrows back this way. And that's it. Hello and welcome to video number 8, and just want to say congrats. At this point in time you have reached the end of this video course. So to ensure that you use everything you have learned, we're going to talk about shopping cart systems that will actually help you achieve this goal and set up the one-time offers properly via automated systems so that whenever somebody buys your front-end offer, they will be automatically presented with the OTO1 or OTO2, 3, 4, 5, or whatever, how many one-time offers that you have. Now, there are many out there, but here are just to name a few. There's jvzoo.com, there's Zaxa.com, and there's Infusionsoft.com. I will say that Infusionsoft is a lot more complex, so Zaxa.com typically is a good shopping cart system. jvzoo.com as well. Now, in order for this to stay true, you need a shopping cart that can do one-time offers that appear after the previous purchase. We're not talking about one-time offers that are added to the front-end initial offer. So you want to make sure that you do your due diligence and make sure that this is the type that they are compatible with, because some shopping carts will actually say that but in reality, it's a very different one-time offer. So that way it helps you kind of differentiate between the two. So I hope this helps, and just make sure that you go take action, map out your own sales funnel, find the right system that is for you, and go out there and conquer. Hello and congratulations on getting access to this video course on the blueprint to setting up smart one-time offers. So this is video number 1, which is the introduction and quick overview. So when it comes to selling your products and services online, you need to ensure that your whole funnel converts. Everything from your lead magnet to your freebie, whatever you're using to build your list, to your front-end offer, and then to your one-time offer. So in other words, everything needs to be consistent and congruent. If it is not, then your funnel will not convert. But you'll get a better idea as I actually go through and show you step by step. Now, before we begin, we need to check your mindset, and then of course after that, I'll give you a quick overview of the video course itself so you know exactly what to expect. All right, so let's talk about mindset. So most likely if you're watching this, you are open, but I want to make sure that you remove any type of perceived notions or thoughts or assumptions that could potentially block you from actually achieving your goal. What I've noticed over time and time again is oftentimes it's not the strategy, but it's actually the mindset that is blocking it. And it's not just the, oh, I can't do this. It's other things that are actually coming into your mind that you don't even know that are aware of that are blocking you. So I've seen too many times either product business owners or service-based business owners or any type of business owners, they often, not all, but some of them, a minority, tends to say, I hate one-time offers. Anytime you think, I hate one-time offers, or I hate funnels, or I hate this and that, those things can actually block you from achieving what you want to achieve. So I want to make sure that you throw that out the door so you can focus on the video course. And at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter what we like. What matters is what our customers want. All right. So it's easier for me to say, put yourself in other people's shoes, but in reality, it's actually very hard to do unless you really remove those things out of your mind. And then it makes it easier. And then I'll give you some formulas that you can actually implement that will help you achieve that. Then on the flip side, you've got your customers. Now, if your customers are saying, I hate one-time offers, then that's a different thing. That's something that is clearly wrong with your sales funnel. Now, if one or two people saying that, that's usually okay. But if you got 3, 4, or 5, typically the rule of thumb is if one person is saying that, then 100 other people are just not saying it at all. They're just walking away annoyed. All right, so that is a good place to be because that will allow you to say, okay, what is wrong? What can I fix this? All right, so that's what we're going to do today. So now that we have covered that, let's talk about the video course itself and give you a quick overview of the course. So video number 1 is, of course, this particular video. Video number 2 is why you must have one-time offers, which will be a basic video, but will set the tone for everything else. Video number 3 will be why most one-time offers aren't converting. Video number 4 will be an overview of the smart one-time offer and why they convert, so you have a better idea about how they convert and the fundamentals basically. And then of course video number 5, we're going to dive into actually practical application. We'll take what you learned in the previous video and then apply that in video number 5. So in video number 5, we'll talk about how to create a funnel with smart one-time offers. So I'll actually go to Lucidchart or a mind mapping software and break things down so you can visually see it. Video number 6, we'll talk about different examples. We'll give you smart one-time offer, real example, and we'll relate it to products. And then in video number 7, we'll do something similar but relate it to services. So if you have a product, you should have a better idea. If you have a service, you'll have a better idea there. And of course, last but not least, video number 8, we'll talk about different platforms, shopping cart systems that will actually help you achieve this. So we'll help you actually build out the one-time offers. So now that you have a better idea of that, here's what you need. You need a product or service, you need an open mind, you need the willingness to take action, and you need a mind map software like Lucidchart,
Mapping.com is what I'm going to be using, and I love that software. Or you can use a free mind mapping software. You can even use a paper and a pen if that suits you. Whatever helps you absorb this information better, use that, because different people are different. We got visual learners, we got auditory learners, and we have kinesthetic learners. So whatever works best for you is best. All right. So now that we've covered that, let's move on to video number 2.